Hi everybody, this is the tutorial for Nobody Knows. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. So we're in standard tuning for this, and the first chord that we need is an F major 7, which is 3 on the D string, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. The other chord we need for the introduction is a C major chord, which is 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on the B and an open E string. We don't play this E string. Now we're going to cycle back and forth between the F major 7 and that C major twice for the introduction. However, there's a few techniques that Shawn uses to play those chords to make them sound quite interesting. And that's all to do with hammering on notes. So for the F major 7, you can see this finger's going on and off quite a lot. So when I start, I strum without my middle finger. Kind of looks like I'm giving you the middle finger there, but I promise I'm not. So what happens is we play the chord. You can see I'm hammering on the chord, hammering on the finger straight away. So try and get used to that rhythm. So it's off, on, off, on, off, off. Then I go straight to the C major chord. And I'm doing the same type of strumming. Off, on, off, on, off, off. And then if you cycle that round twice, like I mentioned earlier, you're getting the introduction there. Now there are some little gaps in there, and occasionally you can hear the guitar part filling out those gaps, sometimes they're not. So feel free just to add in a couple of extra strums and it'll still sound really nice. Okay, so once you've played the introduction, we get to the first verse. That's when Shawn starts singing, and we're, for the most part, repeating ourselves, but there is a big difference. Now it's worth mentioning that if you want the chord chart for this, which has all the chords in the correct order, for the full song, as well as a PDF of all the chords and the lyrics matched up, so you can maybe sing and play along or follow along to the track, head on over to Patreon. For the cost of a coffee, you can get access to not only this song, but every other song that Shawn's released for this new album, and about 300 plus other songs over the last few years' releases. So yeah, pretty good deal for a cost of a coffee. Anyway, getting back to the first verse, we start off repeating the same thing for now. So there's the C and F chords, which you repeat. So there's a second time. You'll do it a third time. But then we go to a G major chord, which is a 3 on the E string, 2 on the A. Then we have 0, 0, 0. That's on the D, G and B strings. And then a 3 on the high E string. However, that shape there, or those fingers that we use, isn't going to be the best fingering for it, because we have to go to a G sus4 chord. So to play that G chord, keep that little finger there, put your ring finger on the 3, and this finger here on the A, because that frees up this finger. That's going to help us get to the next chord. So when we get to the G, you can see there, I've put this finger on the B string fret 1, that turns the G major into a G sus4. So what we have is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it goes to a G6 chord, which basically gets rid of that finger and your little finger. And we play that for the 6 beats. So just to go over that latter part of the verse, we have the G chord. So that's the G to G sus4, then G6. And at that point, you've got to the end of the first verse. Okay, so now we get to the chorus. And the chorus starts off as normal, going between the F major 7 and the C. We'll play that 3 times round. However, we then go to this chord here, E minor, which is an open E string, 2, 2 on the A and D strings, and then 0 on the remaining strings. We play that for 2 counts, before going to F major 7, for 2 bars, and then back to E minor. Yeah, very kind of odd kind of chorus. Normally choruses are really upbeat or kind of following a certain theme, and then that E minor kind of throws a spanner in the works. I quite like it, actually. So I'm going to play through just the main parts of the chorus so you've got everything in one go. F major 7, C major, that repeats. We then have a third time around. This is where we get to the E minor. And again, F major 7. And E minor. Now at this point of the song we get to the second verse, and looking over to my notes, it is exactly the same as the first verse. So F to C, F to C, F to C, and then that lovely part of the G to G sus4, and then the G6. We then get to the second chorus, which is the last part of the song. And looking over to it, it is exactly the same as the other chorus that we've already looked at, with one exception. And that is at the end of the song, where you're playing the F major 7, going to the E minor to finish it. We finish with a different chord of C major. Now, C major we've already played a few times, and what you can do just to end the song, rather than just strum the full chord, have a bit of a slower sweep of the strings. Just adds a nice little effect, really subtle change, but yeah, just makes a difference and ends the song quite nicely. And there we go, that is everything you need to get through the latest one by Shawn Mendes. So if you found this useful, please do like and subscribe, and please consider getting the extra material over on Patreon. In fact, the people on the screen, my active patrons, will get access to that content the moment this video goes live. So thanks to them for their support, thanks to you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.